The last page turned is the perfect excuse to write a new book. Sanctioned by the Absolute Beginners League from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, it's the Global SimRacing Channel's opening round coverage of this, the 21st edition of the Formula Neagle Championship. Now, David Burns came into last season with a belt already notched from a season title, but that leather was scarred for a season that the legendary Errol Num chose to sit out. After season 14 earned Num his 8th title, the Roland Estonian took the next 4 campaigns off before returning in season 19 to win yet another. Last season, season 20, saw Burns come out on fire, scorching the competitions in rounds 1 and 2. After Lee Anderson found victory in round 3, Num won the final 2 events, and Burns had to miraculously survive a last lap incident with Yush Junk to earn third degree, his 2nd championship, and by doing so, step out from the shadows cast by the Roland Estonian. So now, the slate is wiped clean. Many familiar names are back, along with a few unknown hoping to soon not be. The title of the book is Season 21. How will the first chapter read? Find out now as all the simulated Skippy action from green flag to victory donut streams your way live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Peace, good health, and welcome to yet another Formula Neagle season debut. Way up in the press box to bring you our bird's eye view. My longtime Formula Neagle partner, Adam Young, along with yours truly, Bill Soupzon. Sean Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. The last time Formula Neagle came to Motorsport was 9 seasons ago, season 12, in early December of 2017. Who won that day? Well, who else? Errol Num. Who'd he beat? Well, who else but David Burns? But since it's been a while, let's roll a refresher video about today's venue.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Skippy, so let's do a lap around Motorsport. Turn 1 is going to be a fast downhill right-hander. Sometimes it's a passing zone, but it's a risky proposition to make it work. Plus, it's easy to get greedy and dip your left side tires off the track. There's only a short breather on the exit as you have to get right to set up for Clayton. This blind double apexer is tricky in normal conditions, but add the lift throttle oversteer of the Skippy and it can be utterly frightening to take on. Once again, not a lot of time to relax as you're already switching sides to take the proper line into Quebec. This feels like a late apex, but you're actually hitting it about mid-corner, and the turn simply opens up as you track out. Now, up ahead, it looks like the circuit just disappears, but you're actually going to fly down through 4 in a crazy plunge towards Moss Corner. This is a potential but risky place to pass with its short braking under compression and curved entry. Attack with caution. Now, there's 2 apexes on Moss, but the second is by far the most important. Getting the launch off of here will make or break your lap times, not to mention your race. If you're slow off the corner, it's a long slog up the Mario Andretti straight, and you'll be watching all your competitors just breeze on past. There's not a lot of oomph in this engine, so momentum off the hairpin will be everything in order to give yourself more speed as you climb back uphill. Now, as we come up to the S's, remember that ambitious drivers may attempt to pass around the outside, so stay vigilant. The nature of the corner makes either side a viable option for an overtake. Finally, after the crest, you're going to stay left, then just lift and ease the car into the S's. Try to hug the inside of this first right-hander to set up better for 9. Then, make sure to stay as far left as you can for the best line into White's corner. Be careful not to clobber that curb too hard, then carefully let the car track out and finish your lap around Motorsport.
Embodied voice of Joe Peak talking us around a lap here at Motorsport. Let's bring back in Adam Young. Adam, good to be back for another season.
Yeah, it is, Soup. I mean, love the Absolute Beginners League, love the Formula Neagle, even getting a chance this year to run some Tony Hayes Cup races this year with these guys. Of course, it's the unbroadcasted companion series, and well, these guys, a great group to be around for sure. And of course, here at Motorsport today, and you know, I gotta say, Soup, this is one place too that you really don't hit anything soft here, and seeing a few run-ins with the concrete already, I expect especially some damage maybe in the first opening laps or 2 of this race. And me personally here, I have a hard time in the first sector of this track, and really a hard time on it going until you get up the hill going up to Moss. And that's where I expect a lot of people to maybe have some issues, at least initially on the opening lap. So it's going to be an interesting watch for sure. But as usual, the cream will try to rise to the top. And the question is what are the new characters that we got out there can rise with them?
Let's talk you through some of the drivers to keep an eye on and how they finished up last season in season 20. We'll start by looking at the 125 at David Burns. We talked about it in the opening. He's our champion. Burnsy finished 6 points ahead of Errol Num. Had an amazing last lap. Got caught up in an incident on the last lap of the last race and was able to bring it home and got the championship. Now, you can't forget about car number 78. He's out there in his familiar Bushfink colors. And, of course, I'm talking about Errol Num, the 9-time champion. Last season was the first season that he actually got beat. He's been every season he's competed in, he's got the championship except for last year. He wants to make up for that one. I want to talk about car number 96. He finished third in the points. Didn't get a win last time. And, of course, I'm talking about Alex Johnson. He's also a former champion. Won that one when Num was on a hiatus. Very quick. Was able to run with the guys. Had horrible pit stops last season. He thinks he's got that figured out. Look for him to be a threat for season 21. Car number 337. This is Lee Anderson. He picked up the win in the middle. It was a 5-race season. He got the race win in race number 3. Watch for him to be good as well. He was very competitive. And finally, let's look at car number 81, Mikkel Hofladezen. Always exciting, especially early on. A threat for the crown for sure. So as I look through here, a lot of drivers that could win this thing. There's a team championship as well. We'll talk more about that one as the season goes on. Right now, let's go ahead. We're always picking up new viewers. Adam, let's talk about the event details.
Yeah, here for today, of course, season 21. Now, this hasn't been around for 21 years. Don't let them fool you. They do run multiple seasons a year. They're short seasons now, 5 rounds. With no drop weeks. So every little bit counts. You got to be on top of your game week in, week out. Well, every other weekend and every other week out because we run every other week. Skip Barber Formula 2000 is the car. We played around with a few other cars over the years, but went back to the old Skip Barber just because it puts on a great show with these guys. 40-minute race, and of course these are open setups, but they are limited to 51% fuel. So we will get a pit stop in there at some point during this race for everybody. And of course we are on a standing start here in the Formula Neagle series. And that standing start, especially here, can get pretty interesting.
And I just got the news today. Guess what? They've upped the season. Not quite as short. We're going 6 rounds for season 21.
Hey, that works. I don't know how I missed that one, but hey, 6 rounds is still awesome. I'm guessing still no drop weeks, though. So still, every little bit counts.
I guess it takes a little bit of the pressure off. Boy, when you have 5 rounds, if you make a mistake, man, it's hard to, you don't have much time to come back from it. Qualifying going on right now. We have a pretty big field here today. Just a touch over 40 drivers. Maybe, Adam, a little bit frantic in the back half of the pack you saw during practice?
Yeah, I think it's some guys that are still trying to get used to this car. And this is a difficult track to try to get used to any car on, in particular. Yeah, this one, because you really slide this thing through the corners, and it's narrow tires, got grooves in them. It's a tough learning curve, and I think some of these guys will be peeking out on that learning curve here today. As Euro Num, unsurprisingly, he's going to set the early fastest lap, early provisional pole, as starting to see the first times come down for a lot of these guys.
One of the unique features here in the Formula Neagle that the Absolute Beginner League guys have brought in, open qualifying, something we don't get to see a lot of. What they want to do, they want to emphasize the team aspect of this. So if you can got yourself a fast teammate, get behind them. But it also works the other way too. If you got yourself a fast competitor, get behind them as well. So it's about how fast you go and how fast your friends are.
It is, and that's it's kind of the way it's always been, kind of the way it always will be, and it works. It really does. I mean, because you still see the cream rise to the top, but you also have to be, I hate to use a DW term, but co-opetition. You got to cooperate with your competition, And I hear our director groaning already on that one. So
That's money in the jar, baby. You know the rules about quoting DW. I want to look at car number 13. This is Yus Junk, the junkyard dog. This guy is exciting. We talked about the performance he put on in the season finale. He's fourth fastest right now in qualifying. Remember those familiar colors there, the kind of yellow and light blue machine of car number 13. This guy is good. Oh, it's pink. It's pink. Ah, the rods and cones. How far did I go, Adam? I was about 7 minutes into the season before I missed the color.
yeah, it's all right. I think that's a new record for shortest time, though. But you're going to have to make it up for season 22.
Let's look at car number 58. Maybe we can get a close-up of this. This is a slick-looking machine. I'm talking about Christian Perez. Now, here's a name we don't know. I talked about a few new names that we don't know much about. We'll find out about them. They want to make a name for themselves. He's got a really good-looking machine.
And he's quick.
Also pretty darn fast, yeah.
And he's, right now, Mikael Hoffenheisen is setting the world on fire with his qualifying time. But between Burns in second and Perez now in third, there's only 6 thousandths of a second between them, at least here. Where are we at now? Almost halfway through qualifying. So that's close. Now, Aaron Law now on your screen. I think this is going to be his first time. Must have had an off. Oh, there it is. There it is. So he's 13th. That's pretty good for Aaron Law there. Look for some improvement out of him here this season.
Shangri-La gets into time. I want to talk about car number 104. This is Henrik Kamara. Again, Adam, this is the driver we've been watching season after season. Little by little, he gets faster and faster, and I think he's ready to race with the big guys in season 21, sitting 7th right now in qualifying, right behind Junk.
Yeah, he's had some definite flashes of what his potential could be.
Whoa.
There's Euro Numb taking the provisional pole.
And with the driver we were just talking about, Kamara,
going second. So right there, like he's had flashes of what he has potential to do down the road, and I think a lot of people are still excited about Henrik Kamara here in the series.
We look there at Errol Num. Right now, Kamara is racing in a 3-car train with Burns and Yus Junk, so there's some fast guys out there. There's Ryan Walker, a veteran, well down the order in 22nd right now. Look at that in the GSRC paint job. That's good for a couple tenths.
Yeah, we just got to do something about the driver there. But I'm only rib him just because, he broadcast with us.
There's Aaron Law. Jason Guerrera.
Yeah, one of the new guys that's going to be out there here.
Let's jump to car number 96. This is Alex Johnson. Well down the order. I would expect more from the Swede with speed. He just worked his way around Nicholas Falk as he works his way through White's corner. Let's see if he can put in a time here. Goes around the slow car of Nylander that was parked out there.
Yeah, Nylander actually had picked up some damage. Lost a tire in the tires, literally.
And Johnson does do that lap and still down in 11th. There's the Strudelmeister, Thomas Kick. Nice to see him back.
I don't think we'll see what Ryan can do here on this next lap. I believe Ryan's still getting used to this the Skip Barber machine, but he does shave a couple of tenths off his last time there, so that'll be good for him. And I'll tell you from experience, driving these Skip Barber machines, it's a learning curve. I mean, yeah, it's the beginner open wheel race car, but it drives so unlike a lot of the other open wheel cars that you have to be on top of it. You really do. And it's a good lesson, but it does take some getting used to, especially if you've gotten used to driving faster machines to come down here and now with this machine that just wants to skate around on you.
Aaron Nunn back up to the pole. Let's look at car number 18. This is the veteran Johan Vanderbilt, another guy with a little bit of GSRC experience up in the booth. Sitting 8th in qualifying right now, really working the car through White's corner, the final one. Let's see what kind of time he gets. He had a 1:33.768.
Ooh,
And he does
it may not have improved his position. Actually, it did. It moved him up to 7th spot. Yeah. Christian Perez, though, I was just getting ready to comment on Christian Perez that he lagged back a little bit, about a lap or two to go, to get behind Hoffendaisen and Vanderbilt, and that paid dividends as he moves up to provisional pole.
Might be a new sheriff in town, Christian Perez. Racing out of the Iberian Peninsula. And I think his time is going to hold up. In open qualifying. Adam, I can't remember. Do they let them finish their lap? I guess they do, don't they?
Yeah. And I think Euro Num is still on a fast lap here, so we'll see what he can do. Troy Banks comes across, Josh Brain.
Boy, a lot of GSRC alumni here. Stefan Slocker in the mix. Num is working his way through White's right now, coming around, deceiving. Oh, he kind of put it in the pits. It wasn't a clean lap. So
yeah, but Henrik Kamara didn't. Let's see what he's got. 2/10 slower than what his previous fast lap was. So,
since the field is so big, well, let's make sure that Adam and I get our GSRC's commentator bonus for getting through the entire field before they go green. Let's go to the grid right now. And meanwhile, we missed it.
On.
There it is.
Hoffendaisen. I'm sitting here trying to find all the cars that are still out there. We still got quite a bit, and Hoffendaisen just blows past. That's 3/10 faster than Perez.
That's funny. I was looking for him as well, and I couldn't find him on there. In fact, there's a lot more that moved up there. We'll talk about it right now. Mikkel Hoffendaisen goes ahead and snakes the pole away from Christian Perez. But how about this one? The fan belt, car number 18, up in 3rd, inside of 9-time champion Errol Num. The defending champion David Burns and newcomer Nicholas Bach in the 5th and 6th position. Yus Junk and Henrik Kamara go 7th and 8th. Row 5, Vincent Brehm and Andre Salander.
Yeah, taking a look at row 6 on back. We got Neil Bamber out there, followed with Lee Anderson in row 6, Christopher Crook and Frederick Neptune in row 7. Row 8's going to go to Matt Temptis and Alex Janssen. Andrew Leach and Sebastian Johansson will make up row 9, and row 10's going to go to Thomas Kick and Stefan Schlacker.
Hidden Blackjack, it's Nick Cardy. In the double duck spot, it's Eric Lukel. Christian Kabaka in 23rd, inside of Daniel Solo. The quarter century mark goes to Christopher Guerreros. He's going to be flanked by Ludwig Sauer. Aaron Shangri-La is in 27th with John Torpy just outside of him. Peter Houston in 29th. He's going to be flanked by Ryan Walker.
All right, go to row 16, Nikolai Bier. Alongside him will be Josh Brain. Edgar Sancinelli, our pace car driver in the Race of Champions, will be in row 17. Alongside him will be Neil Stevenson. Jason Guerrera in 35th and Dennis Rust in 36th. Diani Doharan in 37th. Mackenzie Mann in 38th. Kai Alpstead in 39th, and Troy Banks in 40th. And I'll just round it out here real quick, Soup. Jordy Solita, 41st, Christopher Hopp, 42nd, Dennis Gearson, Timmy Nylander, Carol Merkerson, and Chris Olson will make up the field. It does look like the only one out of that group that isn't here is Dennis Garrison, so everybody else should make the grid.
Dennis Garrison, a name we know from previous seasons. He's fast. Too bad he wasn't going to be able to race with us today, although he still has a little bit of time to get in. Okay, the pre-race meeting is over, and boy, there was quite a talking to from the series organizers telling everybody to behave, and we're ready to go racing here, season 21. Still waiting for Mikkel Hoffendaisen, I believe, to go ahead and find his spot out there. And I think we got it now. Let's see. Vanderbilt is out there. Yep, we are still waiting for Hoffendaisen to come out. There he shows up in his familiar black machine. He's got nobody in front of him to worry about. Mikkel Hoffendaisen always aggressive on the first lap, and this way he can just go as fast as he can. Doesn't have to worry about anybody slowing him down. I think we have time to take a quick look at the weather before the engines start to harm. No, we don't. They're revving up right now. We'll take a look at that. There, we'll show it. 93 degrees. Nice temperature to go racing. Gather up the chickens. Take cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Hoffman was a little slow off the gun, but I think he's going to be okay. Perez is going to slot into second.
Yeah, still running side by side with Yost Young, Henrik Kamara back there running side by side. Andre Solander's going to have a big run on Vincent Brem. Vincent Brem did not get a good start here.
The front 10 are single file. They're a little more bunched up in the back, but so far the field has made it through Clayton's corner. Very, very clean so far. A little bunched up in the back, but so far so good.
Yeah, but they're getting to my big first trouble spot here on the track. They're going to start climbing up the hill and heading up toward Moss.
Vincent Bream involved in it. Jason Guerrero, we'll come back and look at it a little bit later. Bream is a veteran. He deserves a peek. Meanwhile, up front, it's Mikkel Hofladeson out in front. Single file all the way behind him. Front train goes on. There is no break. The front train goes all the way back.
Christian Perez going to take that early lead away from Mikkel Hofladeson here. And look at that coming up from behind. Johan Vanderbilt's going to make it 3 wide heading into the S's.
He got 1. He's going to take 2. Vanderbilt goes to the inside, and he's going to try to lead lap number 1.
Oh, breaks loose a little bit. Hofladeson's going to be able to have a run here.
Boy, they are fighting awfully aggressive. Hofladeson now moves to the inside, side by side through White. Hofladeson with the momentum. I'm going to get credit with leading the first lap. Now they work
sitting
their way
in fourth is
into
looking
Clayton's
at
corner.
David Burns. Man, he really went into the grass there. I think he's thankful right now these tires have at least a little bit of groove in them.
Looks like the front train has a break. Back in 14th position. Frederick Neptune, the last one to hang on. That's position 16. The caboose in the 16-car train. Going a little bit wide is Vanderbilt now up front.
Man, look at that. That's an impressive train of Skip Barbers.
All right, they're on the back straight. This is where things happen. Here comes a pass for the lead. Going to the inside is Vanderbilt. Now, last time it was correction. That is Vanderbilt moving up to the inside. Perez looking at third. The dark car of Hofladeson closes the door.
Closes the door hard on Perez there. You're gonna have to make moves like that even here early on because this is a prime track where in oval track racing we call it getting freight trained. If you end up on the outside of a turn, well, this is a place where you can get freight trained even in a Skip Barber machine if you end up out of line here right now. So Hofladeson seeing that, needing to shut the door. Lee Anderson, though, coming in with the fastest lap of the race here so far, back in 9th position.
There is a car joining the lead pack. It's Gordy Salateu. He's a lap down. He took the fast repair. That's a new feature that they brought in a couple seasons ago. Let's look at car number 96 in 11th position. Former champion Alex Johnson. He's working on the back of Neil Bamber. 2 champions going at it. They're beginning to lose touch with the leaders. And up front, boy, I tell you, a driver that really got caught out of it was Henrik Kamara, who falls back now into 9th position, lost all his momentum. They worked through Moss Corner, and now here comes Bamber. And all of a sudden, the train that was pulling away, well, is right back into the mix with these guys.
Yeah, they're going to start catching a lap vehicle here. A Carol Markinsism, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I probably am. So these fall back, but Henrik Kamara. In fact, you can see it right there with Henrik Kamara being kind of out of line. Might get stuck behind this slower lap car. That's Neil Bamber going wide.
Don't need to go to it, but Yonk got into the back of Falk when they were racing for about 4th position. I don't think either car was injured.
Whew, Henry Camaro hanging the rear end out in the dirt. By the way, Skip Barber, great on dirt oval tracks, kind of underrated. Give it a try sometime as Henry Camaro launches it, avoiding trying an accident. I just see him catch air. It's good on dirt oval tracks, not so good on dirt rallycross tracks.
As we look at the leaders battling for position, a lot of the issues that are happening up front as we look at that battle are from the lap cars that are back into the mix here with these guys. Look at Vanderbilt really keep that car working it hard through Moss now.
And Perez with the head full of steam here, Soup.
He moves to the inside. Oh, running out of room in the back was Nicholas Falk, who actually got into the gearbox of Numb. Well, that goes on. Perez out to the top. Numb now in second. Falk in third. Look at the yellow and pink car of Yonk make a move to the inside as he chases behind Vanderbilt.
And in that chaos, Numb moving up to second. And this is the kind of spot that he likes to be in at this stage of the race.
Back in the back, battling in 8th and 9th is Burns and Anderson. The train has thinned to 9 cars now. Neil Bamber, the caboose. We'll get back in the pack a little bit, but right now we got to focus up front because my spidey senses are tingling.
Now, looking at Falk here, and on the broadcast, I don't see him having a rear wing right now, Soup. Now, I've said before that sometimes these wings, I feel like they're more for cosmetics and actual aerodynamic purposes. And I guess Falk's getting ready to prove whether I'm right or wrong.
Well, he should have a lot of straight line speed, and indeed he does. Can we get an onboard camera from Christian Perez? Get a good look at what that wing looks like. Oh, we got it right there as we look off the back. Hey.
Look at Yost
Meanwhile,
Young
they go around him on both sides.
And Yost Young without the front nose cone because that's how Falk lost his rear wing.
Indeed it is. Numb working to the inside now, working on Perez. I'm surprised to see Numb up there fighting so hard. You think back, you got guys that know how to win a championship. Burns is in this mix, but he's just back there riding with Bamber and Anderson.
Man, this is the kind of thing, though. This is going to take a lot of patience out of some of these guys, too, though. You know, they know they have the power to get back up to the front, but with the way the lap cars are mixed in, with everything's mixing in, you got a few more lap cars that are going to be coming up here in a few minutes. You've got to be patient. Don't make crazy moves.
They're talking to each other now. Vanderbilt comes over the mic, says, "Easy, boys, let's settle down." And other drivers up there goes, "Let's settle down, guys." Right now, out in front, it is the newcomer, Nicholas Falk. Yus Yunk, we know about him in second. Christian Perez now making a move. There goes Young to the inside of Perez. It does look a little more tame.
For now.
He brings around Numb with him. Numb cuts right in front of the 77 of Falk, who gives him enough room. There will be pit stops. Look at the battle for second. There's the 77 of Falk on the inside of Perez. They continue to race side by side. Two rookies. Perez gets really loose. Falk gives him a little extra room. Keep going at it, boys. Allowing me to pull away. I got 6, 7, 8, 9 car lengths on you now.
You know, Yonk showed some speed in qualifying, showed some speed in practice. You know, those guys got to be careful here. And this is a place where you might lose a little bit of time actually in the draft too if you're not careful. So, you know, being in clean air, not necessarily a bad thing. Although, as I say that, I think Perez is getting a good run on it here and heading down the Mario Andretti straight.
Tense racing up front. We will get back to some of the mid-packers in just a moment. Let's stay on this for a second as they work lap number 7. We're about 10 minutes into this 40-minute event. They work up through the S's again. The yellow and pink car of Yonk out in front through the final corner. Perez and Falk. Let's see if somebody makes a move here. Ducking to the inside is Lee Anderson. Haven't heard much from him. Anderson now working on the inside of Hofladezen. Anderson in the frosted purple car. Hofladezen in his familiar black paint scheme. The ride on board with Anderson. Picked up a win last season. Looking right up ahead of Hofladezen, the pole sitter. Yelling going on from the back. This is a 11-car train with Andre Salander hanging on.
By the way, he was fast early. We saw him catch some air. Henrik Kamara did come in and get his fast repair. I think the question will become, did he come in early enough that, you know, maybe he can go the rest of the way and not have to stop?
Here's Anderson. We've been on him for a while. He was on the back of Hofladezen. Now he moves to the outside. They're 2 wide, 3 wide up in front. Trying to put the toothpaste back in the jar. You can see that's the 77 car trying to get the inside of Christian Perez. Yonk said enough of this. He backs out. Falk moves up into second. Yonk in third. Numb watching. Anderson has to stay behind Hofladezen. And enjoying the show, car number 125, the defending champion, David Burns, in 7th. I think David realizes there's no reason to get up into that mess.
No, not at all. Not right now. Just let's see how things play out because they're close enough too. You get a good pit stop, which Burns is good at getting good pit stops here nowadays. That's he can gain lots of spots just off coming in and out of pit road.
There's the defending champion sitting in 7th. He's got Anderson ahead of him. Another champion behind him, Neil Bamber. See, work through Moss. Boy, look at him, accordion up. And then as they get on the throttle, it's really, Adam, a matter of how aggressive do you want to be. You can get 1, 2, maybe 3 positions if you really want to force it.
Yeah, you can, and you just got to be careful not to lose them through the S's, as looks like Yost Yonk here is going to take second away from Nicholas Falk, at least here right now. Cut back in front, the entrance here to the aforementioned S's, and they also close back up on Christian Perez, as Perez, Yonk, and Falk now run 1, 2, 3.
Anderson working really hard on Numb, trying to get this done, diving to the inside. Having enough of it. Okay,
thought this might happen.
Jason and Vanderbilt coming in.
Thought that might happen.
This is the early peel rate reveal. They'll come in early.
This is a page out of Euro Numb's book.
I would not be surprised if these two guys are faster dancing together instead of in the nonsense.
They're also in the same pit stall, so we're going to get a good look at who comes out first.
Should be easy. So the The train goes down to now down to 9 drivers. Let's give a tip of the hat to the drivers in 9th and 10th, especially the driver in 9th, car number 666. How about Frederick Neptune, Adam? He's racing up there with these guys.
Yeah, hanging on to the back part of that pack along with Andre Salander and Alex Janssen, and really just staying out of trouble and latching on, because you don't know what's going to happen at the end of this thing. You get one minor mistake up front, and he can find himself in the top 5 easy, so he's having a great run today.
Vanderbilt seems to be slow. He's coming out of pit lane. He doesn't seem to be at pace. Did he pick up? I'm looking to see what happened. Oh, this is a big,
Man.
We got to get this one. There's a big incident, I think, with Vanderbilt and Burns. This just happened this lap. This is huge.
Oh, this is all lap cars up in front of them, and it was just collateral damage. Neil Stevenson, David Burns get together, Carol Markinson get together.
They come up just behind Mackenzie Mann, and they slow down. It's Burns and Stevenson is involved in it.
And after this, if you want to seize parting moment, go Henrik Kamara.
We'll stay on this one. And then Hofladezen gets through. Kamara's car number 104. He was involved in this one.
It just watch the seize part right in front of him on this. And yeah, I'll go right through. And the biggest telling part, by the way, accident aside soup, is Johan Felt and David Burns came out right with Henrik Kamara. Henrik Kamara may not be done and out of it yet.
Vanderbilt brings a 3-wheeled car into pit lane. Let's go back up front. So what does this mean? We're left with Nicholas Falk, Christian Perez, Yush Yunk in this mix as well, Lee Anderson. I don't see Num. Now, has Num made a stop, or was he involved in that incident?
Num right now, he did make a stop. He's back on track. He's with Mikhail Hofladezen and Henrik Kamara right behind them. So, like I said, Henrik Kamara, we shouldn't have counted him out when he got that accident earlier. He's going to be right back in the mix of this thing.
Indeed. About a tick over 2 seconds behind. So
Assuming it didn't happen early enough that he has to make another stop.
So let's go to 18th position. Car number 81 is Mikkel Hofladezen and Arrow Num. They come across the line right now. They are 29. Let's call it 30 seconds behind the leaders. Look at this. Coming out right behind them, that's Yush Yunk. You'll see the yellow and pink car pulling out right behind Num. Just in front of him, Christian Perez. He's made his stop. So the leaders of the cars who have pitted is Perez with Hofladezen, Num, and in the mix is Yunk. Also hanging on is Kamara. Up front in a battle that matters. Let's go there. This is Anderson now, your leader. He works his way through Moss.
If I'm Anderson and Falk right now, and we'll see if they prove me completely wrong here. I was going to say, until you absolutely have to come in, but they're going to come in right now.
Guess who's going to get credit with leading the lap? I think it's going to be Frederick Neptune. I don't know if he was first to the line.
Woo.
The Triton out in front. It means very little, as he was well behind the pack once everything sorts out. But it's good to see Frederick out there. We love you, baby. Let's go ahead and now focus in on Anderson, who sits in pit lane. And we want to see how he plays out when they start to come around. It would be Perez. Perez across the finish line right now. And it looks like he is going to get out. That's rolling out now in front. There is Anderson's going to get out on the track first. Ahead of them is Torpy. He's a lap down. I think Anderson is out front. He's going to keep the momentum going. Perez right behind him. anyone sneak out in front of me? That I think Anderson is the leader of all the cars who pitted.
I think no, and don't forget too, Soup, that with Neptune out there staying an extra lap ahead of these guys, that's just that much shorter time that he has to be in pit road, and he was at the tail end of that pack. It might be good for a few spots for him here.
They all start with the same amount of fuel. Doesn't mean they're burning the same amount of fuel. Neptune was behind him. Okay. We're going to go focus on Frederick Neptune. I'm having the time of my life. There might be more excitement going on a little farther. Let's see if Frederick brings it in. Stay out there, baby, and he does.
Woo, I like this. This is exciting.
Yeah. Let's go back to 11th. Anderson now. Being attacked by Perez. Jump one car ahead on the track. It's John Torpy. There's a battle here. This is Walker and Torpy in a battle for 9th. Walker says, I want out of this. And he pulls it in. I got that wrong. It was Torpy that came out. Walker stays out. Walker in 8th. Now, if Ryan can stay out there a little bit and get onto the train here, he can get some fast laps in. Of course, he still needs to make a stop. He might be able to vulture some positions. Perez and Anderson. Numb. Hofladason, big names all. Going off in the grass and saving it. Or does he save it? It's the rolling Estonian doing some agricultural racing aero number. He gathers it up.
Could have been disastrous right there, but man, it ended up working out.
Let's stay on. Let's go to look at car number 2, Ryan Walker. Here they come, Ryan. Perez with a run. Anderson looking to the outside. Walker keeps it in there, and 1 goes by, 2 goes by. Walker is fearless. Let's see if he rolls around one more time. Hofladason now behind him. Numb has gathered it up after he went off in the grass. Walker says, enough of this. We'll come back and check on Walker, see how he fares in relationship with Torpy. They were in that battle.
Soup, I don't want to burst anyone. See a lot of dirt. Was that Hofladason back there? See what happened to him here real quick.
Go ahead, Adam. What are you looking at?
Yeah, it looks like he's going through one here. And, oh, that was actually just Perez in front of him, I think, kicking up some dirt. Yeah, okay. So, false alarm. Hey, what's not a false alarm? And I've been looking at them and looking at lap times and everything. You know, I like my lap times here, Soup. I know we've been getting all excited about Frederick Neptune, but he's been running a second to a second and a half slower than these guys at times. That's going to hurt. I'm hoping he'll be able to get some spots out of this. We'll see, though, as he finally calls it. He's going to come down pit road, so we're going to see what's going to happen here with Frederick Neptune here very soon.
We're going to get ourselves a new leader. GSRC's own Stefan Slocker is going to get credit with leading a lap, as he's going to stay out there a little bit longer. Slocker, Bream, solo. Aaron Shangri-La also racing and now up credited in 4th.
This Hofladason, fastest lap of the race. And now Frederick Neptune pulls out. So that gives you an idea of just how far back he's going to be. So great run while it lasted for him, for sure.
Let's go look at Perez now. They're coming up on some lap traffic. This could be ugly. This is Jason Guerrera. Here they come, Jason. Keep the car in a nice, predictable position. Perez looking to go around him. He's got Anderson back there as well with Hofladason. 1, 2, 3, but they're not done because Numb and Yunk are coming. Look at the gap now that has opened up between Hofladezen and Num. It's 1.5 seconds.
Ever since Num had that off a few laps ago, he hasn't quite been as fast as what he has been, and that's actually pulling Young back as well. It's like Young still has the speed, but I think you don't say this very often, Sue, but Hero Num, I think, is holding Young back.
Let's go up to Anderson. Anderson now to the outside. Go ahead.
Woo, they split the lap car right there at Jason Guerrera.
You knew that was coming. Let's look at Christian Perez. They are Cialis bathtubs with the black car of Hofladezen. Out of the final corner, Hofladezen had the momentum. And now everyone has made their stops, and we can get order has been restored with Lee Anderson being credited with leading. Hofladezen in second, Perez in third. As we look at Perez going up, Director, can we turn it around the other way and let's see how far it is back to Young? Because these guys are coming. Now, we've seen Young have trouble before where he can run them down. There they are. That's Young and Num. Just over the hill there they come back. Adam, if I'm Anderson, I try to get across to Hofladezen and Perez. We don't need to battle right now. 13 minutes is a long time. If we start playing around, we're going to let Num and Young back into this, and we're going to end up with a 5-car party instead of only 3.
And you don't want to do that right now. I mean, those are 2 super fast guys. Try to do what you can to settle it in amongst you 3. You've only got about, I'd say, let's say generous 8 minutes. When you can click off 8 minutes on the clock, then call no time, then go have fun. But right now, let's settle it between Anderson, Hofladezen, and Perez.
Gonna take you through. Oh, a spin! And we lost. Oh, it was Jason Guerrera. Can we get an onboard camera from Neil Bamber, please, right now? It happened right in front of Bamber, who's racing in 6th. Oh, my goodness. He got an eyeful of a car spinning in front of him. This is Guerrera, the lap car, and I really thought Bamber was going to collect him. Woo. Luckily, Bamber spins off. Or, I'm sorry, Guerrera spins off. Bamber in 6th in a battle with Alex Johnson. So they race for 6th and 7th. All this going on behind the 3 leaders that are beginning to behave. Hofladezen, Anderson, and Perez. Look at the tower to the left. Look at the interval from Perez to Num. 2 seconds. Ooh, that's a big distance with only 12 minutes of racing to go.
They're losing ground right now too. So that's going to be it's going to hurt even more. I mean, we'll see. Wow, with Hero Num kind of in front of Yost Young, he's able to start catching that pack. But it looks like Christian Perez here going to try to get around Lee Anderson. You're going to see a lot of this leapfrogging type action, and this doesn't necessarily slow them down. It's when they start battling in the corners that they're going to have to watch out for.
Adam, I want to be the 3rd car out of Moss Corner. I've seen it happen more than once that the toe, it's not a wee, it's a all the way home toe. It's a big toe.
It is. You know, these cars, they punch a little bigger hole in the air than you think they would. And that 3rd car in line, you get a lot of momentum. And it's the same way at Spa in particular. If you can have that run, then you're golden.
I want to quickly highlight the cars that are racing in 7th, 8th, or 9th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Car number 77, Nicholas Falk. Now, he's in there with the battle with Andre Salander. Great run from these guys. Look who's in 10th. Not a great points day for our defending champion, David Burns.
I want to bring up a real quick story we were following. Might be the last time we mentioned it, but Henrik Kamara did have to make an additional pit stop, so he's down in the running order now to 22nd. So just did not work out for him the way we hoped it would.
We pride ourselves here at GSRC to try to cover the entire field. I'll be honest with you. It just would not let up front. There was just the action up front. The front 10 really stole the show here right now, and we're going to be focusing on them probably until the end. Perez, a newcomer, Hofladezen, and Anderson. Hofladezen and Anderson have the experience, at least in Formula Neagle. Christian Perez seems to be very good.
Dynamics here sliding this car around, particularly going through the S's and whites, and it's obvious he's got some Skip Barber machine experience underneath his belt. So this is gonna be a good battle here as Yunk and Numb continue to fall off.
If you put any weight to iRatings, I'll give them to you. Hofladezen sitting with a 3,700, Perez at about 41. And Lee Anderson, a whopping 53.65 as they race beneath the clouds. No time being gained from the guys in fourth and fifth. Numb and Yunk, they'll have to fight it out for themselves for that spot just off the podium.
But don't think that that's not important. This is, we've talked about it earlier, going from a 5-race season to a 6-race season. That one spot there for Numb or Yunk, as things play out over the course of the season, could be very important.
I am going to give a tip of the hat real quick, Director, to car number 30, sitting in 29th position. He's our hard charger, Chris Olson, sitting up there. He's got Hendrik Camaro right behind him. Actually, they're separated by laps. But there's our hard charger, Chris. A lap down. Nevertheless, nice run. Let's go back up front. Perez in that beautifully painted machine. The mostly back car of Hofladezen. The familiar paint scheme of that frosted purple machine of Lee Anderson. Oh, getting a little bit off in the grass with Perez. He's going to lose momentum as they go into Clayton, but no worries. Just under 8 minutes. Did we speak too soon, Adam? You see the gap from third to fourth?
I do.
Oh, my God. And
We'll
it's
see
shrinking. That lapped car is Dennis Rust. He does a good job of shaking off the other cars as they get around him. Here he comes. Arrow Numb.
He's back in drafting range now. While those guys were playing around a little bit, Euro clicked off the couple of tenths that he needed to get back in drafting range.
Gap a tick under a second. All he needs is for those guys up front to start fooling around, and he'll be there. Here comes a pass, but it's going to be a pretty clean pass. This is Hofladezen getting through without slowing down the pack. The gap remains at about a second. They'll be coming up on the lap car of Christopher Crook. I believe he's going to play a factor. Pay attention to the tower. Look at the interval between Anderson and Numb. They're coming at you. 1, 2, 3. And there's 4 and 5. Go, Adam.
These guys clicking off minute 30, minute 35, 33 laps. We still might get another 4 laps or so out of this thing here too. So that's plenty of time for Numb and Yunk to get back up into the mix here. One little slip up will guarantee that they'll be in the mix.
Anderson can feel Numb coming as he looks to go around Perez. Perez says not yet. They go through Moss.
And I
now
know
it's a 2-car length gap.
We've got this big battle up here up front. It's shaping up just so we're thinking about it. So our director knows that back half of the top 5, 6th to 10th, running about 8 seconds behind these guys, all separated by only 2 seconds. So we're going to 3 wide for the lead.
On the outside is Anderson. On the inside is Hofladezen. Stuck in the middle is Perez. Watching the whole thing with butter and butter on his racing gloves is Numb. They get it sorted out. in the popcorn position is the Roland Estonian
They're
9-time
there.
champion.
They are
He is
there.
there. And he has brought the yellow and pink car of Juice Young with him.
Young looking. Look, Young, Young, I think, just decided, just judging by his car movements, I think Young decided it's go time. It's going to be exciting to watch him over the next few minutes.
5-car battle up front. And then a 5-car battle for the back half of the top 10. Adam found it. We'll watch both as they come across the line.
This is exactly like Lionheart Retro the other night. Big old, first couple of cars, all in one tight, and get about 7 seconds or so back, you have the next group of cars, and they're just as tight.
Car number 60, Christopher Crook is the car directly ahead of him. I think they're going to get to him before the race is over. Christopher, find a place to hide. Out of Moss, Hofladezen, Perez, Anderson, Num, Yunk. Let's see who makes the move. They stay in line. Hofladezen protects the inside, swinging down the middle. That's Perez, and watch the car in third. Anderson could have had it if he wants it. He's going to hold the 337 to the outside. He pins Hofladezen down. Perez goes around first. Num and Young continue to watch from fourth and fifth. Plenty of time to get there.
I guess 3 laps here.
Pulling over is Crook. Great job from the car number 63. Well done, baby. Give him a comfortable seat in the next Backmarkers United meeting.
I just find it interesting how they're staggered right there, too, as they go through Clayton.
We're going to stay on this front battle. Now, this is real similar to how it was last year in the season ender as well. Yunk was in there. Num was in this mix as well. Lee Anderson, all familiar faces. The only guys that really don't belong. Hofladezen was not in that group, and, of course, Perez is new.
Oh, they lost a nose. Just saw debris flying. I don't know if that was neck coat or not. Might have been Num. I think Num just parts popped back on. So a little bit of neck coat there. There's a bump as you go up into moss. They'll sometimes do that.
Perez weaving the car now over to the right. Keep the straight line. Here come 2 guys. In the middle is Hofladezen. I think Anderson is going to get the spot as well. Perez falls back to third. Behind them, the momentum to Yunk on the outside of Num. Now he'll have the preferred position through here, but then he'll be in the outside through White. The battle for third, fourth, and fifth is equally as intense.
Should be 2 to go right here, Soup. 2 to go.
Anderson now moves to the inside of Hofladezen. Num able to fend off Yunk. He cannot get the position. Perez, the rookie, doing a great job. 2 cars in front of him, 2 cars behind him as he races in third. Experience has got to belong to Errol Num. Courage and aggression to Yunk and Hofladezen.
Young was going to start saying no time a while back, but Anderson gets it a little bit slower sideways than I think he wanted to right there. Woo!
Car got very loose. Let's see what type of momentum he has coming out of Moss. I hear some banging. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to stay right here. There is no room for Perez. He tries to make room. He pushes Hofladezen over. He gets in front of Hofladezen, and now he goes around the outside. With a big, giant run is Num. Num trying to get to the inside. There's not a lot of room there. Num and Anderson side by side. The momentum will probably go to Num as they come out of here. Now he'll be on the inside for the preferred position. Now he'll be on the outside. Num very loose. He loses momentum.
White flag right here.
Anderson to hang on to third. Young watching the whole thing could not do it. Those 3 drivers have lost now A lot of room. There's time for them to get there. But Perez out in front. You heard my partner call it. This is the white flag lap. And Perez has a 4-car length lead on Hofladezen. This could be good, Adam, for Hofladezen. I'm not sure if Anderson is close enough to get Hofladezen and Perez. We'll see.
No, this is Anderson. It's trying to close that gap just a little bit on Hofladezen right now. Hofladezen not gaining a whole lot of Perez. That might be by design. He wants to have that big run out of Moss here in just a minute and try to get him going down the long straight.
I don't know if Anderson can get there from this far back. Hofladezen might be in the best position. He's 3 car lengths back.
He lost a lot of time.
We're looking at the lead. Perez trying to keep the car as straight as possible. Scooting up in his chair, using his Flintstone feet, trying to get that car to go as fast as it can. 2 car lengths back. 1 car length back is Hofladezen. He moves to the outside. He's alongside. He pulls ahead as they head down into corner number 8. The momentum will be on the outside. But look at Perez fight back. Perez's car gets a little bit loose. He's going to lose momentum. And now he's on the outside where there'll be momentum. Hofladezen has secured the position. I don't think there's enough time for Perez to get there before the finish line. Season 21 is going to open up with a win for Michael Hofladezen. Perez gets second. Anderson, Num, and Young. Let's go back to Janssen.
No, Janssen had trouble on the last. That's going to Nicholas Falk. As Salander will take the 7th position, and Janssen continues to run down the.
Janssen ran out of fuel. He was in 6th position, leading that second pack. He loses a ton of spots. Let's see if we can get one more battle here at the end. Let's look at these guys coming across the line right now. That was Barry and David Burns, 17th position. I believe that's out of the points for our defending champion. Holy moly. Welcome to the Absolute Beginner League's season opener. It was exciting. The racing is over here, but our broadcast is far from done. What we're going to do is take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the game.
Soup had to run off to Indianapolis. Got the Lionheart IndyCar Series coming up here in just a little bit on GSRC, and Soup will be on the call for that. But what an absolute barn burner for round 1 of the Absolute Beginners League Formula Neagle Series. Your top 5 cars all within a second of each other, and multiple positions swapped in the last few laps of that one. Michael Hofladezen coming in the lead and win. Christian Perez, the newcomer, in second. Lee Anderson in third. Euro Num in fourth. Yost Young in fifth. And they put on a whale of a show all the time. And another whale of a show behind those, Nicholas Falk, Andre Salander, Stefan Schlacker, Alex Janssen, and Daniel Salo. wrapping up your top 10. Going back to 11th position, we've got Eric Lukeld and Frederick Neptune, who had himself a really good running going until about the middle part of the race. Vincent Brem, Ludwig Sauer in 14th, Neil Bamber in 15th, Nikolai Bier in 16th. David Burns didn't have the day he wanted to have with that one accident. 17th, Aaron Law 18th. 19th goes to Ryan Walker. Christopher Giros in 20th position. Henrik Kamara, another guy that had high hopes coming into today. He's going to finish in the back of the running order. Peter Huston, Josh Brain, Johan Vandebelt, terrible there. What happened to him? Edgar Sancinelli rounds out your top 25 and also all the cars that were on the lead lap here for today. We'll let that run through, but we got Mikhail Hofladezen right now sitting in the ready for interview room. We're going to pull him in. What a win, Mikhail. I mean, that you had to be on the edge of your seat just trying to drive.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about that one. I didn't think I was gonna get pole for 5 cents, and then to win the race, it's a really nice feeling.
You know, what position did you want to be in there with about 2 to go? I mean, did you have any? Were you just trying to be in the lead, or were you trying to stage yourself to get that run on the last lap?
I was happy to be in second place coming out on the white flag lap because I felt like the entirety of the race, even if I was mid-pack, that if I was P2, I could pull ahead of P1 without letting P3 and 4 by. So I was actually in the position I wanted to be for once, and I actually made it stick.
Well, making it stick might be an understatement here today. So, a great job, and of course, setting yourself up here for a good season. You got Virginia International Raceway next week. It's gonna be kind of flowing, kind of like here. Do you like your chances there?
If I can make it, yes. Since my real life racing has started now again, and I got a double victory yesterday, I'm focusing on that to get the total championship. So hopefully I can get both races done, but if not, somebody else is going to have a fun win.
Hey, yeah, for sure. Hey, congratulations on the wins yesterday too, and glad to hear your real season is starting up too with everything going on. I know we've talked about that in the past. So, Mikhail, congratulations once again. Maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe we won't. If we don't, hey, good luck in the real car.
Hopefully you'll see me. Thank you so much.
And that was your race winner today, Mikhail Hofladezen. Hey, let's go ahead and talk to somebody here that was in the back part of that top 5 battle. Stefan Schlacker, of course, Stefan, one of our GSRC broadcasters. Hey, buddy, you guys had a whale of a show going back there, too.
Yeah, Adam, it was fun to watch. Sadly, I wasn't part of it directly. I was always 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds back. Never really caught the train off that because of some bike markers that were a little bit difficult to overtake. But yeah, strategy worked out nicely, and I went from P20 to the P8 that I finished in. So really happy about that result.
Yeah, and of course, you're going to be a good guy to ask because I know you got a lot of experience. Virginia National Raceway next weekend. What are your thoughts there?
Oh, I love it. It's my most favorite track on the service, except for the Nordschleife, of course. But yeah, it should be really fun. It's a tricky car. It's a very tricky layout because we're not going to the full layout, if I remember that correctly. We're actually going to VIR North, which is really Mickey Mouse circuit, which suits the skip up really well. So it should be a really cracker of a race.
Hey, Stefan, thanks for popping in here and talking with us real quick, and appreciate everybody out there joining that just fantastic race that we had for the opening round of the Formula Neagle series. And tune in for Lionheart IndyCar next if you want another whale of a show. Thanks to the Absolute Beginners League for organizing Formula Neagle and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on your screen now that we use on our broadcasts. The original music that gives every GSRC production that unique flavor and feel is thanks to June Lalonde. See the screen for contact information. Formula Neagle, hey, runs every other week, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, July 12th, round 2, VIR North, GSRC. Hey, me and Soup planning on being there. On screen now are some upcoming broadcasts. Check those out, mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more about GSRC, check out globalsimracingchannel.com, also on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook /Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram, GSRC_Graham. And while you're there, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the GSRC YouTube channel and check out our merchandise store at gsrcstoreindie.com. Hey, for Soup, for Sean, for Dougie, I'd like to thank you all for watching the Formula Eagle Series here today at Motorsport. Congratulations once again to Mikael Hoffmann-Dazen on the win and Perez and Anderson on your podium finishes. We'll see you in 2 weeks.